Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're at the Like to Box gym here. It's a good name.
Not my name.
No, it's
Good name.
Still a good name. Very busy on Saturday night, so couldn't grab a word with you. So I've come to your gym Monday morning, Motivation Monday. Get a bit of motivation from Adam Booth.
Lucky you.
Let's start with Ryan Burnett. Pleased with his performance and obviously his win against Ryan Farag, successfully defending his titles. Would you assess his performance?
Very happy with him. Had to work every round to keep control of the fight. Even though he won the vast majority of the rounds, maybe 9 or 10 of the rounds, he had to work to win the rounds, which is exactly what I wanted him, because what him to do. Ryan Farag is a good fighter and he's a world level fighter. I think the loss to Karen Worthy made him more determined and more dangerous. So Ryan probably got the best. Ryan Ryan Farag on Saturday night. Showed that he can box long and fight up close, which is something we're working on in the gym. I don't want to limit Ryan to having a style because he's got so much ability. I want him to be as close to the complete thing as possible. We've been working a lot on inside fighting, and on Saturday night he got a chance to practice it, defending his British title, which I was delighted about. So he showed he's got long game and short game, and that fight's only going to make him a better fighter.
How would you compare his performance on Saturday night to his previous 2 performances?
Well, it doesn't compare because the fights don't compare, because the opponents don't compare. Previous opponents, as soon as they realised what they had in front of him, really kind of went into survival mode, and Jason Booth had a difficult night and was just keeping himself safe, same as Anthony Satul and Ramirez last time around as well. Whereas I always knew Ryan Farag, with his his confidence and his arrogant attitude and also his style of fighting, he was always going to look to let his hands go. He was always going to be looking to try and punish Ryan, and in doing so gave Ryan the challenge he needed and the opportunities he needed to express himself.
Do you expect that he will challenge for a world title next year?
I'll be disappointed if he's not. Very disappointed if he's not, because he's there or thereabouts now.
So have you mapped out a route where you'll possibly look to get that shot?
I'll be speaking to your pal Eddie later, and we're gonna see if we can come up with a plan for the next fight and the early part next year.
And there was obviously talk of him going and headlining in Belfast. What's the deal with that at the moment?
I think going to Belfast is the obvious thing to do with Ryan. It's going there at the right time, and if Ryan can be in position to challenge for a world title, what better time to go to Belfast than one of their own boys fighting ferociously for the world title in Belfast? That to me would seem like the perfect thing to do.
A couple of talking points from Saturday night, obviously other than Ryan Burnett, was the whole thing with Tony Bellew and BJ Flores and David Haye. Seemed like a little mini-series that was going on throughout the night. What did you make of that?
Entertaining to see. It was fun to watch. I thought Tony did a good job against a fella that was more dangerous than people gave credit for, BJ Flores. Because I know how good BJ can be. I've seen him in the gym sparring, and I've known BJ for a long time. And I thought Tony did a very, very good job in the fight, and did a good job in selling a potential pay-per-view fight during the fight as well as after.
You know David Haye relatively well, I believe. When he's got someone in his face kicking a Toblerone at him, shouting, screaming at him,
an actual Toblerone, or you mean the
no, that's what it's called, the Toblerone.
It's an actual Toblerone. You put it eating it.
Maybe, but obviously it's live on TV, and David's very aware of that, and but kept his cool, kept his restraint from sort of making that situation more volatile.
I think David's probably as experienced as anyone in those moments. He's had his fair few. And so, I think, what is he, 36 now? He's been around the block. He's had his scuffles outside the ring. And it had his suit on as well, and his hair out, so he probably didn't want to get messed up.
We've not really seen David go at it since Germany that time, where you got hit with a tripod.
You mean outside the ring?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying in general, because even when Shannon Briggs has been confronting him, he's kind of kept his cool as well.
Yeah, he's a smart fella. I don't think you make a foolish decision to have a go with Shannon Briggs outside the ring.
How is that head when you got hit over there? Is it alright now?
How is it now?
Yeah.
It's alright.
Classic moment.
all the good sterling work I think I've done over the years, and that's all you're going to remember.
I re-watched the video a couple of weeks ago. I was gutted I wasn't there, but could have been my tripod they hit you over the head. That's what I'm gutted about. What's in it for Haye to face Bellew? What's in it for David?
Money?
Yeah, apart from money, obviously, we know it would probably sell well on pay-per-view and etc. etc. That's it. But career-wise,
it's about risk over gain, right? When you make big fights, it's in a business sense, it's risk over gain. The risk for Haye, the risk for any fighter is a loss. If Haye were to lose that fight, he gets good money, but not the money he would make for a possible big world heavyweight title fight. The risk for Tony is what? Losing a fight. But if the fight was over the cruiserweight limit, he'd still be cruiserweight champion and make good money. So I'd say, in a business sense, it's more of a risk for Haye than it is for Bellew, because in a business sense, it's a no-lose scenario for Tony. Gets well paid and keeps his cruiserweight world title. For Haye, losing to Bellew would be the end of his heavyweight ambition. That's the risk in the business sense. I think the risk in a fighting sense is much more for Tony than it is for David. David's the hardest puncher that Tony would have ever faced, and they both know that. We know that Tony's got balls the size of Anfield or Goodison Park. He's an Everton fan, right? Balls the size of both of them. But balls don't win fights. Smarts and skills win fights. And it's a fight where you probably have to make Haye the favourite because of his punching power. But having said that, Tony's proved himself and proved his mettle in his last two fights, defending the cruiserweight title. And I don't think even Haye knows where he's at the moment in terms of how he can perform, because his last two fights are really no indication. The only indication he has in the ring is 2013 in Chisora. It's the last real reference to how he can perform. So it's an interesting thing, because there are some unknown intangibles. Financially, it makes sense for both of them to do the fight, and I think in a business sense, it's more risky for Haye. It's no risk for Bellew. In a fighting sense, it's probably more risky for Bellew, but still a risk for Haye.
Do you expect that fight will
Is
happen?
Is that a fair assumption? You were looking at me like
no, I'm listening.
What I'm talking about.
I'm looking in your eyes. Do you believe that fight will happen though, next year?
I think that depends on who grabs hold of these loose belts floating about in the heavyweight division. I think that will play a factor in it, because I think that will probably be Haye's main focus. I don't think Bellew is his main focus at the moment, but of course there's a lot of heavyweight piranhas trying to get hold of those floating belts at the moment, aren't they?
Vacated recently by Tyson Fury, who's had his own issues and dramas going on over the last month to 6 weeks. A lot has happened, a lot has been alleged, etc. How have you made of the whole situation with Tyson Fury?
What have I made of it?
Yeah, what have you made of it?
There's three things we need in life: health, happiness and security. They're the only three things we need. And the less we need to have those three things, the richer we are. And if Tyson is suffering with mental and emotional issues, something you can't wish on anyone, then that's going to have an effect on his ability to be healthy and happy. And so that's more important than anything. He's got kids, right?
Yeah.
It's more important than anything. And
3. Yeah.
You've got to feel for any man in any family that's suffering that type of thing. But I'm sure he's proved in the past that he's made of strong stuff. The Vladimir Klitschko fight proved that. When everyone thought he was going to lose, he proved it and got the win. And a man that can be strong in that scenario can deal and recover from the problems he's got now.
Do you believe that the situation that happened last November, him going over and doing what no one thought he could do, has become too much of a thing for him to deal with?
What, being heavyweight champion or having? I don't know, you got to ask him.
Or both.
I mean, I don't know him, right? I know everyone knows who Tyson Fury is, but we don't know who he is. Only the people close to him know who he is. We see, from the videos that I've seen, he seems to love his family more than anything, his wife and his kids, and that is probably the most admirable quality of any man. So I had the utmost respect for him from my perception of that, and that's really probably the only way I would judge someone, judge him how he acts and how he sells himself, because that's the business, right? I've seen that enough. You judge a man by his family and his children, and if that's how you judge someone, then you can only admire Tyson Fury.
What should the boxing world be doing? Supporting him, or because a lot of frustration around people that have supported Tyson Fury, may have booked tickets for his fight, etc. And there's a slight little bit of a backlash regarding him. But what's the answer to that then? Just
fans will always support and haters will always hate. The only support we need are the ones that we love, our family and friends, and there are really less than 10 of those in our existence. We have bloodline family members and we have very, very close friends. They're the only ones we truly need the support of, and if we're surrounded by good people, that's all we need, and that's the support he needs.
The fight for this year seems to be Joshua set to face Klitschko at the end of the year. Too soon for Joshua or not?
No, you see, we'll know. It's one of those ones where, the way I perceive it, they're both at a certain stage of their career, and it's either slightly too early for Joshua or slightly too late for Klitschko. Their careers are on different trajectories, right? And I think it's a perfect timing for that because of where their careers are and where they are as men and their age. So I think it's a fascinating matchup, and if it gets made, massive kudos to both of them for doing it, because I know that both of them could go and have a world heavyweight title fight with different opponents. Right? They both got that option because Vlad's the mandatory for one of the vacant belts. So if they put that together, massive kudos to them. And we'll find out, because if it's too early for Joshua, it's only just too early. If it's too late for Vlad, it's only just too late for Vlad. And that's what makes this fascinating.
But the jump up in an opponent from the likes of Charles Martin and Dominic Brazil to Vladimir Klitschko, does that concern you?
Does it concern me?
Not concern you, but I'm saying, is it a concern for Joshua?
You don't look at it as a concern, you look at it as something to deal with. You look at the cold hard facts. Yes, it will be the most experienced and most dangerous opponent that Anthony has fought. But equally, when has Vlad fought a young, hungry, unbeaten, 100% knockout, world champion, Olympic gold medalist, young, coming into his prime? When was the last time Vlad fought someone like that? So Anthony's got the youth and the power to create a whole heap of trouble for Vlad. But equally, Vlad has got the experience of sharing the ring with dangerous, good fighters to nullify and take over the fight from Anthony. So it will be a great fight to watch. I'd pay for it.
Part of the pay-per-views.
Yeah. Don't get it free, do I?
I don't know. Your boxing booth, I don't know what privileges you get.
I used to pay for. I used to pay for the pay-per-views that I promoted.
Did you?
Yeah.
What, doing your little bit, or because you just had to?
I had to pay. I had to subscribe and pay.
But when you were there?
I was there, but I would still record it, wouldn't I? You can't record it if you don't buy it.
Obviously, yeah. True. Should we play a little game?
I pay for my own pay-per-view events. Well, go on, tell me.
Should we play a little game?
Shoot.
It's called Why Don't You Train Me Anymore?
And how does that game pan out? Does that game pan out with you trying to get answers to questions that I have historically refused to answer and won't because it's not my way?
It's just a game.
Okay, go on then. Let's play.
Let's
Go.
play it.
Shoot.
Right. My name is David Haye. Why don't you train me anymore?
Because I don't.
My name is Chris Eubank Jr. Why don't you train me anymore?
Because I don't.
You're not going to play the game, are you?
That's why I gave you a heads up before you even started.
Can't you tell us why you don't train Chris Eubank Jr. anymore?
Can I? Yes. Will I? No.
Oh. You're very, what's the word? Consistent. Well, you've never told us nothing.
Right.
I suppose that's one thing.
Consistently what? Consistently smug?
No, not smug, just consistently like, you don't want to air
do you know what?
your dirty laundry in
we've
public.
never had a conversation about that little video you edited where to make me look foolish, where I was giving you advice to be a bit more harsh on people.
But I was putting that video out, so
It's good.
it had to be in my favour because I was putting it out.
You have that editorial control.
But everyone said, what was his response? But
I've got a video I'm putting out today, haven't I? Stay tuned. Strip dancing by KUGAN and
I didn't take no
KUGAN
gloves
and
off.
James.
I just took my jacket off.
Bottled it. That's why.
No, that's alright.
Bottled it.
I
think you went under
I'm
the
carrying
ring.
a little bit of holiday weight right now.
Mass. You've been bulking up on mass.
What's going on with Andy Lee at the moment?
Wants to fight again.
Yeah.
He's got over the disappointment of a bad performance last year and has started training, and he's still only 31 with some good fights left in him, so we're going to see what opportunities there are.
Do you think he could get another crack at the world title? Is that what he wants?
He's a former world champion. He just
Yeah.
lost on a split decision, right? So it wouldn't be unheard of for a former world champion who lost on a split decision to get another shot at the world title. I just hope he does.
You've recently, it's not that recent, but you're training Mitchell Smith now. Had a win out in Harrow last week, or week before rather. How are you getting on with Mitchell?
Good. Known Mitchell for a long time. Frighteningly talented. I said to him today, if you look at Ryan Burnett, what's Ryan? Maybe one fight away from the world title. I said to Mitchell today, he should be ahead of Ryan. He should. Because technically, he's very advanced, but because of his choices, he's not. And I hope that seeing Ryan where Ryan's at now, he can get a taste for it from another gym member and realise where he could be and start to consistently make the right decisions, because he's got the ability to burn, really has. And not only that, he's a good energy to be around as well. And everyone is a great buzz in the gym at the moment. And I think Ryan is now the leader of the pack at the moment, ahead of Andy Lee and Mitchell Smith. And I know that Andy wants to get back into world title contention, and Mitchell should be there by now, and he's not. And shame on him for not being, but lucky for him, he's young enough to get there.
Can you just list me the professional fighters that you currently train? Ryan Burnett, Mitchell Smith,
Andy Lee.
Andy Lee. You've got three, that's it. Anyone else?
There's other fighters in the gym who are trained by Roger and Richard, who are under my banner, but the ones that I spend my time coaching are Ryan, Mitchell and Andy.
About old Hightowers. Fighting good?
Richard?
Yeah.
Richard's started coaching, and I think he's got the bug for it, so we'll see.
So you're going to tell us what happened with your Eubank now?
Nothing happened. You're making an assumption that something happened.
Well, I see a press conference one day, announces the big marquee trainer.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm saying it. And then suddenly, saw you on the pads of him a few times, about the clips floating
You
about.
can try and ask me the same question as many different ways as you want. You ain't getting an answer. So let's not waste each other's time.
Do a tell all, come on, confess.
Why?
Confession time.
No, I don't need to. I know why. Why do I need to confess? I know why. No, I'm not interested in being.
People are
I'm
interested.
not interested in being 2-minute news. I'm genuinely have no interest in
People
it.
are interested.
For 2 minutes.
It's not 2 minutes.
It is. It's 2 minutes before they get involved in the next tweet or the next bit of trash that flies in front of their eyes. I'm not interested in that. I love the sport of boxing.
You said what?
I love the sport of boxing.
We all love the sport of boxing.
And
Sometimes it's good to know, you know, what goes on.
But it's more important to enjoy good fights, isn't it? Great show on Saturday night, wasn't it?
Great show Saturday night.
But it's best non-pay-per-view show I can remember for quite a while.
Since
The three live fights were Burnett Farag, Campbell, Matthews. That was, until that horrible body shot, was quite an even fight. I think I watched it last night, and it looked to me like Derry hit Campbell in the first round with a left hook to the temple, and it looked like it had quite an effect on Campbell. If you look, he doesn't do anything he kind of freezes. I'd be interested to know, that's what I'd like to know, did Derry catch him with a shot in the first round that really hurt him, because he kind of froze for a period of time. How Derry got up from that plexus shot and actually tried to stand and trade and have it back with him. Man, he deserves all the respect he gets for that, because if you get hit with a shot like that, you realise that you can't do anything. And to actually be able to start swinging back shots to trade with someone that's just done that to you, that's immense. And then the drama of the Toblerone kicking after.
all
All good stuff.
we need more Toblerones kicked. We do, don't we? We need more tripods.
You are this generation, aren't you? You are very
no, it's not what
contemporary.
you're on about.
You want the 2-minute trash Twitter news.
No.
So I suppose that's your business, isn't it? It is. It's good.
You seen Trevor Burbick in that press
Hey,
conference, didn't you? Right?
The best press conference one was the Barrera Morales one.
Yeah.
Dressed in suits. How you finding what you do? How do you enjoy being kind of the internet face now of British boxing?
Struggling to deal with it.
Deal with what? The workload.
The politics, the two-facedness, if that's a term.
Two-facedness.
Two-facedness.
I'm not saying that's the term.
What goes on in the ring is
Does it
great.
make you emotional?
No, it makes you a bit. The thing is, I don't know really anything different to what I didn't know 3 or 4 years ago. There's a lot of snakes in boxing. I'm not actually specifically in boxing.
If I was to say there's a lot of snakes in boxing,
There are a lot of snakes
you'd
in
ask me
boxing.
for names.
Yeah.
I've never said there's snakes in boxing.
But there are
You did.
snakes in boxing.
Who?
But I'm asking you the
Who?
questions.
Well, no, you just started.
I know the
You
snakes
just started
are.
answering my
Hang
questions
on.
about you.
You don't want to tell me about Chris Eubank, why that relationship
You seem
went
really
to.
fixated with the
Because I'm
Eubank
interested.
situation.
I'm interested in other fighters that you previously trained and haven't trained anymore. But if you're not going to discuss to me about what I've
I'll
asked,
discuss it with you. With you.
I'll discuss the snakes in boxing. You know the snakes are in boxing.
Hang on a second. You're not going to reflect your statement onto me. You said.
But I will say one
you
thing.
said.
I will say one thing.
Go on.
There is more good people than there are bad.
Okay.
The good people.
Lovely, warm, fuzzy statement, that, but it doesn't answer the question.
good people in
Who do
boxing
you think
outweigh.
is a snake?
I'm going to mouth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If my eyes were shiny, people could lip read you.
That's one.
I heard you say that. I hope that doesn't come out on the. Go on.
That's one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically that.
That's brilliant.
Apart from that, everyone else is fine.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I'm fine with everyone, but I don't disagree with what you just said.
I'm just saying. But
You get a fist bump on that one.
we can leave that. We can leave that as it is. But no, just it's interesting because we're in boxing without really being in it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, but that's a position you need to be in because you've got to cover everyone.
I will say 90 90%. Fine.
Are you proud of your work?
Could be better.
Could be worse.
Could be worse, could be better.
Do you think you're better than Eddie Sekback?
For work rate, no. No.
What about quality?
That's arguable. That's not
Yeah,
for
but
me to
I'm
say.
starting your opinion. It's a subjective.
No, I wouldn't. I like Eddie Sekback, and he's the pioneer of what we're doing, if that is even a thing. So,
It's definitely a different world, isn't it?
yeah, he started it. He started it 10 years ago. So,
You're the second mouse. Second mouse always gets the cheese.
no, that's all right. We're doing it here. He's over there. If he come over here, we'd be having wars. Sorry, Ellie, but we would.
Get
No,
the
Ellie's
boys,
a
you
good
get
guy.
the boys to visit him, wouldn't
What's that?
you? You get the boys to visit.
Is that you? You'd help me out if I was in trouble, wouldn't you? If I rang you up and said, "Oh look, there's 10 people at my door."
I'd say, recount, there's 11.
Oh, what, you at the front of it?
I wouldn't necessarily be at the front. I am a little bit smarter than that. You look like you might throw at least one shot. So I'll at least be in second place.
I can't really fight. I'd have to hit someone with something. Like a tripod. I would.
The links are seamless now, aren't they? It's fucking brilliant.
Do miss our chance.
You're hoping that there's more and there isn't.
No, there isn't more. We'll wrap it up soon. No, I do miss him, don't you? What?
Say anything.
Disagree with me or disagree with me?
Okay. Yeah.
What snakes do you think there are in boxing? Do you want to mouth them to me?
I can say them. IFL TV.
Okay.
Those fence-sitting rats that
We have to
are
fence it.
everyone's mate,
We have to be everyone's mate.
but do interviews slagging off one. Like you just told me some snakes and some names of snakes, but I know for a fact that when you do an interview with those snakes, you probably mouth my name. So
100% not.
yes.
I've never.
Oh,
I've-
you should have said no. You should have said 100% right.
No, 100% not. I've never had a bad word to say about you. Ever. Ever. And I couldn't. When people.
We know why, don't we?
Why? What do you mean why?
Why you wouldn't say bad things.
Hang on. Go on, tell me. It's still recording. It's still recording. Right, Bina just gets a plug there. No, I've got a bad word to say about you.
Well, thank you.
Why would I have a bad word to say about you?
I get a lot of jip because of our banter.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do people go to the films and believe that everything's true? I don't know.
Nowadays, yeah. People go to the IFL films. All I will say is, what I'm actually trying to say in my weird way is I'm kind of congratulating you for sticking with it, being good at what you do, and you don't seem to have changed. You might have put on a bit of timber,
Yeah.
but you don't seem to. Actually, no, you lost it and then put it back on.
Yeah, true. Very
Um,
true.
But no, kudos. And James seems to have overcome his nerves as well, which is a nice thing to see.
It's a 50-50 relationship. Kind of what we used
Just
to
put it
have.
this way, James is now in a position where he goes into, you know, a gym where world champions train and does a striptease dance.
That's
I
how
mean,
comfortable we are.
That's how he's overcome his shyness and his nerves, and long may that continue as long as he keeps the pants on.
Release that video later. I'm quite happy with it. With
He'll
James.
be out before this.
Alright, Adam Booth, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and we'll catch you soon.
Tune.
Catch you soon.
Catch you tune.
Catch you soon. Thank you.